Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Adam from ElliotOracle.com. I'm also the author of Fearless Tarot, How to Give a Positive Reading in Any Situation, which is out now from Llewellyn Books. So if you enjoy my positive take on the tarot, it's all in this book. It is time for this week's Oracle reveal. So earlier this day on Instagram, I placed up a photo of 3 different animals, and I asked you to use your intuition and just ask yourself which animal is getting stuck in your head, because that animal has a message for you. And the animals were the turtle, the peacock, and then also the crow. So if you're just joining us now, ask yourself which animal's getting stuck in your head, because that is your message. For turtle, it says slow and steady wins the race. And that's a famous saying. And turtle is all about staying grounded and really earthing yourself as you're going toward your goals. Turtle is telling you to take the more methodical approach right now, to not rush ahead, but to really get the job done right. The first card for Turtle is where it's best to place your focus this next week. And we have the 10 of Pentacles, which is always a card of home, family, community, and also on building your legacy. The 10 of Pentacles is saying that right now it's so important that you are really establishing firm foundations for success well into the years that are ahead. And also it asks you to inspect what kind of person you are in your own community or in your own family. How are you either elevating the energy or improving things? It's so important because this is what your legacy is going to be. You know, we all think our job is so important or what we're focused on is so important, but that's not going to be etched on your tombstone. So the 10 of Pentacles is really saying that what really matters in life is the connections, how we make other people feel, and how we end up helping ourselves by helping other people indirectly. The second card is advice from your inner wisdom this next week if you got Turtle. And we got the 4 of Cups. Here we see a guy who's stuck in his head too much. He's kind of pouting. He's under a tree. He's worried about problems that might be coming. He might be thinking about problems from the past, but he's utterly unaware of what's happening around him right now. Because even in the moment of his misery and what he's really grumbling about, there's a miracle happening behind him. You can see this cloud and a hand emerging from it, offering him a golden cup. And what this is indicating is that there is a gift being offered to you right now as well, but you're not going to be able to perceive it if you're too focused on problems. If you're too ruminating, or you're ruminating too much, or you're too much in your head, you're really going to miss it. And so this card really tells you to be alert, to be awake, to be aware of what's happening around you right now, and to accept the gift that's being offered to you. It may be something as simple as something you find in your home, especially with that 10 of Pentacles. And then finally, the mythic archetype that will help Turtle this next week is Kronos. He's the god of time. He's associated with Saturn, which is all about sometimes setbacks or limitations or difficulties that we go through in our life. But they're not punishments. They're not something that's just put in your way to make your life miserable. Instead, these are lessons. And so when we see Kronos, it's really saying, take the lessons that life is giving you right now and really learn from them. Even if they appear as a setback, it might be a marvelous opportunity in disguise. And anything that you have to push against that's sort of resistant isn't something to curse or shake your fist at, but instead to thank it and just say, thank you. You're making me better. You're making me sharper. I'm going to overcome this. I'm going to be somehow victorious with creating the legacy that I really want to leave. Second animal is Peacock. It says, let it shine. And we know Peacock is always associated with putting on a show. If you're attracted to Peacock right now, it may be time for you to shine. And, if you're too worried about speaking about your talents or putting your best foot forward because you're afraid of looking immodest, the Peacock just says, don't worry about it. You really need to just show what makes you grand. The first card for Peacock is what it's best to place their focus on this next week. We got the Ace of Swords, which is all about taking charge, creating new conditions for success. Ace of Swords is a card of triumph by force, weathering storms, and also bringing peace to your life by taking charge of it. So this isn't a time to be like an ostrich with your head in the sand and ducked away and worried about what may be happening around you. Instead, the Ace of Swords is saying, face it head on. Confront that issue that's really been nagging at you. You will feel so empowered, just like that crowned sword in the card. Advice from your inner wisdom this next week is then the 10 of Cups, another card of happy family, much like the 10 of Pentacles. The 10 of Cups, however, is showing a happy family that's in this moment of gratitude. They're looking at their house in the distance, and they're really seeing it as if for the first time. It's like they had to get out of the house to look at it and truly see it. And this might just indicate that you might want to get out of your head. You might want to take a proverbial walk up the road and look at your life from a distance. And also we see that rainbow on the Ten of Cups. Rainbows imply that there was a storm before, and rainbows always appear after the storm. So what this card could indicate is that your inner wisdom is reassuring you that even though you might have weathered a storm, the rainbow is always going to reappear, and there's always a reason to be grateful and to show gratitude for the life that you have right now. So take charge of it. And then finally, the mythic archetype that's going to help you if you pick Peacock is Pan. He is the god who's half goat, half man, and he's always in the woods. He's playing on his little pan pipes. And when we see Pan, he's telling you to really reconnect with your inner nature, to maybe go out into nature, also to be free, to be wild, to let yourself go a little bit. This is a set of cards, I think, for this next week for the Peacock people, which is all just about letting it go, letting it all hang out, letting yourself shine, letting it all show. And I think if you do this, you're really going to feel rooted or grounded in what it is you're building. And then finally, Pan could just indicate it's time to get earthed as well, much like that turtle message earlier. It might be time to get rooted, spend some time around trees, just kind of drink in their energies through your senses and allow yourself to let go of anything that's burdensome at this time. And then finally, we have the Crow spirit. And Crow says, co-create with spirit. Crow is all about transformations. A lot of people are afraid of crows because they're associated with death and change and omens. But crow is actually a really intelligent bird, intelligent animal. It's very community oriented and cooperative. So this could be a time where you're really shifting some of the energy right now by using your own intelligence and also cooperating with others. First card for Crow is what it's best to place your focus on this next week. We got the Seven of Pentacles, and we've been seeing this a lot over the winter for different animals. But on the Seven of Pentacles, you see this farmer. He's growing his crop, and it's not yet ready for harvest, but he's satisfied with the progress that's happening. And when we see the Seven of Pentacles, it's really saying that you've planted some wonderful seeds. It may not be harvest time yet, but this is a good time to stop, rest from the work, look at your life, look at what you've been building, and say, you know what, this is pretty damn good. I really think this is really growing in a positive direction. This is also a card of long-term security or stability. So if you're at all worried about those issues, the Seven of Pentacles says, relax, it's all growing. Advice from your inner wisdom this next week. Wow. The Empress, who is also in a garden that is growing in its appropriate time. If you're attracted to Crow this week, it almost feels like something is ready to manifest. Something's ready to blossom or pop. And I just got a feeling that you've planted these seeds and it's really culminating. And when I see the Empress, I just kind of feel she's in that abundant garden with all that full wheat around her. This could really point you toward late summer, early autumn, when you start to cash in or actually reap the harvest or reap the rewards of all your efforts. The Empress also wears that crown, which tells you to take the higher perspective, to look at things from a distance, and not to get too wrapped up or worried about how things are developing. And then finally, we got the mythic archetype that will help you if you pick Crow, and we get Selene. And in Greek, Selene means the moon. And so the moon is coming up for you because it's a symbol of intuition, deeper feeling. Also with the Empress next to it, there's this feminine energy right now, this receptive energy that you might need to really harness at this time. It really isn't about doing, is it, when we look at these three cards? It's kind of about taking a step back and letting things come to fruition on their own terms. And the moon is just a card of phases and cycles as well. So you might want to honor how you're feeling, maybe journal your feelings, maybe write what you're going through, and really reflect on where you're at right now, what you're growing, and maybe even give yourself a little pat on the back for how well it is growing. So that is this week's Oracle. I do hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, you can always check me out at elliotoracle.com. For all of those who have been leaving reviews for Fearless Tarot, thank you so much on Amazon. It's really helping more people see the book and get out there so that people can perceive tarot positively. So thank you for that. Otherwise, I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will see you again next time.